President Biden will visit East Palestine, Ohio sometime this month to meet with residents impacted by Norfolk Southern's train derailment.
It's been nearly a year since that derailment plunged a small community into a major health and environmental crisis. A new CBS Reports documentary entitled Toxic Fog: The Aftermath in East Palestine, Ohio, examines what exactly unfolded in that town last year. It also explores the train derailment's ongoing significance to the East Palestine community and to communities across the country.
You said last time we spoke that your daughter had had some upper respiratory problems. How is her health now?
She has not had a lot of issues since we left the area, so I just pray to God that I got her out in time, that she won't have long-term effects. This should matter to everyone because this will happen again. I feel like now I have a duty to warn other communities, and if this happens in another community, at least if my daughter has to watch me die of cancer when she's 10, or God forbid I have to watch her, at least it saves someone else.
Truly heartbreaking, emotional stuff. And you saw her there on your screen in Palestine, Ohio. She's here now in Studio 57, CBS News correspondent Roxana Saberi. Roxana, really incredible reporting that you've done on this and not letting any of the people there feel like they've been forgotten. Talk to us about how the rail operator, Norfolk Southern, responded in the aftermath of the derailment.
Well, one of its first moves was, once the evacuation order was lifted and residents could go home, was to get its trains running back again that same evening. So they put the tracks down on top of contaminated soil, which, as you can imagine, created a lot of mistrust by some of the residents. When those residents returned, some of them started getting sick. The EPA came in, the Environmental Protection Agency came in, they took charge, and they ordered Norfolk Southern to do sampling of the environment, testing, and also cleanup. Norfolk Southern says it's committed more than $100 million so far to this process and also toward helping the community. But that bill is likely to grow quite a bit because it's facing several lawsuits, including a class action lawsuit by it's thousands of residents in not only Ohio, but also neighboring Pennsylvania and West Virginia.
What strikes me about the woman you were speaking with is that she's assuming her own death, she's assuming her child's death, and she's saying speaking to you hopefully will serve as a warning to others. This is a working class community. These folks aren't massively wealthy. And as you pointed to, there was a real lack of trust toward authorities, toward the government as well. What else did you uncover in your year-long reporting on this?
Yeah, along those lines of mistrust, when Norfolk Southern was ordered to pay for the cleanup and sampling and everything, the EPA allowed the rail giant to choose its contractors to employ them, which, according to some residents and some critics, creates a conflict of interest. Because why would the responsible party, in this case Norfolk Southern, want to find any contamination because it would cost more to clean up? So that was one accusation that the railroad faced. The contractor, one of the main contractor that did the testing, says that it tested over 630 homes and that it did not find any dangerous levels of contaminants. And the EPA told us that it's closely supervising the contractors that are hired by Norfolk Southern. But it does raise questions about the conflict of interest. And residents also told us, well, if our homes are safe, if the environment's safe, why are some of us still getting sick?
Yeah. And your special is called Toxic Fog. And as you were saying, Roxana, it happened in East Palestine, but that toxic fog expanded in the areas surrounding this small town. And I was speaking with somebody, Mark Kenny, who's there in neighboring Columbiana. He was diagnosed with chemical bronchitis right after this. He told me that today he is doing better, but he's still dealing with the lingering effects. How are the residents that you've been in touch with dealing with all this? How are they almost a year later now?
Yeah, some have no problems. They say they're healthy. They just want to move on and get back to normal. But others are still having symptoms to this day. We met one man who started getting seizures shortly after the derailment, so much that he can't do his work as an arborist and he can't drive anymore. We met others who have still respiratory issues. Sometimes they get blurry vision. One man has had gastrointestinal issues every day since just after the derailment. So it really depends on whom you talk to because people react differently. And we spoke to some medical experts who said, we just don't have enough knowledge about the effects of these chemicals on human beings. It's not something you can test in a lab. What does vinyl chloride do to a human? So some of these people were exposed to multiple chemicals at the same time, according to these experts, and there's really a need to monitor this community's health in the long term.
What's jarring also, I think, is that train derailments happen all the time, and toxic chemicals are moved across this country every day. Should people in other parts of the country be concerned? Because I know for the folks in East Palestine, this seemed to come out of nowhere, and it was all based on, you know, bad railing and wheels on trains.
Yeah, people in East Palestine we spoke to said they never really thought about the trains coming through town until the derailment a year ago. And many of them say that other communities should be concerned. There are about 1,000 derailments a year, but most of them are minor. Most of them are in rail yards, and only about 1% of them involve hazardous chemicals, according to the Federal Railroad Administration. But as we've seen, even that 1%, some of those can be disastrous. There was a rail safety bill. Actually, there's one in the Senate and the House that were both introduced after the derailment, but those are currently stalled.
There's so much there. I mean, 1,000 derailments a year. I think that that's just a stunning number.
Well, it's great to watch this special. Roxana Saberi, great to have you here to discuss it as well. Thank you very much. And a reminder to everyone, the CBS Reports documentary Toxic Fog, The Aftermath in East Palestine, Ohio, premieres tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can watch it right here on the stream, CBS News Streaming, anytime, or on the CBS News app or Paramount Plus.